So apparently last night I was mumbling in my sleep and my husband was like, "What are you even saying?" And I rolled over and looked at him and I just said, "Oh, you just think you're so brilliant walking around with your tail feathers." Okay, hey guys, thanks for coming back to check out another video. So what are we gonna do today? It is the 1 month update to the Pan That palette. And yes, 1 month, because if you missed last month's update, we we decided to start doing this Pan That palette instead of a year long, doing it 6 months. And I think I'm toying with the idea of next year doing Pan That palette seasonally. I don't know, let me know what you think down below, because I just have a lot of palettes and I want them all to look loved. But I also love the fact that with Pan That palette, you're giving yourself like the opportunity to finish off shades. I don't know, I'm going back and forth. I feel like this is one reason why we project pan. You learn so much about yourself. But that is not what you are here for. So I do have to first say, I've already filmed this video one time and then my file footage was corrupted. So if it seems like a little rushed, that's why. It's because like I've already been through the spiel essentially. So before I roll the clip of what the palette was looking like at the introduction, I do just want to say, I know in my last video I talked about like I don't want to support ABH anymore, blah blah blah, and like I don't want to get like rehash all of that. I still stand by that. Before I made that decision though, like maybe 2-3 days at the most before I like sat down and filmed that video, I had ordered the ABH Jackie Aina palette because I really wanted to, you know, support her, support more black creators, and also show them that, you know, they're, in my opinion, like this collaboration palette was just, it's a really pretty color story, better than anything that they've put out in the, you know, the same year as this. So but then I made the decision, like, I don't want to support them anymore. And I thought I had canceled the order for this, and I didn't. It just, I don't know if it slipped my mind or whatever, but I'm really happy that it's here. I'm glad that I, you know, have it. This is what it looks like in case you're unaware, but it is so pretty. The formula of this is a little bit different in my experience, and I think it's a lot nicer. So this is a palette that's worth it, even though it does have ABH attached to it. I am looking at this as just my Jackie Aina palette, you know, in supporting her and, you know, things like that. So I just wanted to, for full transparency, let you guys know that that does now exist in my collection. So now what we will do is roll the clip of what the Subculture palette that we are panning looked like last month at its introduction. Okay, so here's what the palette is looking like now, and you're gonna see some big changes that I'll have to explain because, again, the file footage got corrupted, so anyway. But look at all of that damage we have done in a month. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is so easy to hit pan on an ABH shade. Them and Lorac, like if you want to do Pan That palette and you're uncertain about how it's going to go, if you have an ABH palette or a Lorac palette, I recommend starting out with one of those because it's super easy. So yeah, let's just go like down the columns. So we already had pan on Roxy last time, but you can see like the pan has expanded. My brush is just naturally like edging towards this corner, so I really would like to make it a goal to try to clear out this bottom corner, maybe even this bottom half. Just for reference sake, again, Roxy looks like a cream shade, but it's a little bit too dark to use it in that way. So how I use Roxy is to help blend out the like the edges of my transition area, especially if I'm using some of the more like darker colors. And then this morning when I was doing my makeup, I hit the teeniest of baby pans in Roxy. So I've been wearing Roxy in my crease as like the predominant crease color. It's what I have on today. I really like it, but it always throws me off because in the pan it looks like just kind of like a light pinky peach shade, but like on your eyes it's much darker. And I have had my eye makeup, well, I've had my whole makeup on for like 8 hours at this point, so if it's looking a little rough, please don't judge me. I cannot handle the criticism today. And then with electric, I don't think we had pan on electric the last time you guys saw it, and we do have a pretty sizable pan. Now, if you have watched or listened or you own this palette, I'm sure you know that electric is a really finicky shade. It gets hard pan like no other, and it's really hard to work with. So if I like bring it in close, I think you can almost see, it looks like I took a knife to it. It looks like I have murdered this shade. And so what I was finding, I don't like to use my finger with it because the oils I feel like mix with it and give it that hard pan faster. So I'll use a brush, but I really have to like stab my brush in there to get product out. So I think what I'm gonna do with electric, I really love that shade. It's what I have on my lids today. I don't wanna get rid of it. What I want to do is to crush it up and make like a loose eyeshadow out of it and finish it off that way. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight, is turn it into a loose shadow. Now, beneath it used to live Adorn, and I talked about this in my, like the first attempt to film this. Adorn was just a super dark bronzy shade, and it was beautiful, but I don't wear shades like that. I like light bronzy shades, and I'm at the point in my panning career, if you want to call it that, where there are certain shades where I could see frankening or trying to save. Like I did do that with blush from the Lorac Mega Pro 1. That was mainly because I like pink shimmers. I love pink shimmers, and I mixed it with a pink shimmer. There was no like, it was a guarantee that it was gonna work essentially. Adorn, I, one, don't know what to like mix that with to make it any lighter. Two, I don't want to run the risk of frankening it with something and ruining a shade that I actually really do enjoy. So I just chucked it. But what is in its place instead is Opal from my Lorac Mega Pro 1. The last time you guys saw it, it had a smaller pan on it. I have been using it this month as a lid shade. I just love the color of it. So that's what I've put in place to like stand in for Adorn. And then I believe this one is Edge, this yellow. I've used it a handful of times. I really like pairing Edge and New Wave together. Is that New Wave the dark orange? Yeah, that's what I have written on the back, so that's what we're going with. And then we do have Pan in New Wave. I've really been enjoying these, like, even though it's summertime, like these three right here make just such a pretty fall-esque look, and it's just, I've been loving it. I'm sure you guys can see like in my videos, like I've worn a lot of like purples and yellows and browns and just like fall colors. And we do have Pan on All Star. So how I was using All Star was in my outer V, and I really like that. It's not, it is a little bit of a harder shade to work with. Like it takes a little bit of extra time to like blend it out, but if you're patient with it, it's beautiful. And I've loved mixing it basically with any color, pinks, golds, yellows, it just, everything. So since I've hit Pan on it, I've switched to using Fudge right here as my outer V shade. It's what I have on today. Now Fudge is difficult to work with, but it's not like satisfying. It blends away so easily, and it's patchy. That I find that it's patchy on my eyes. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm gonna continue, I'm gonna keep it in here because it's not the worst of the worst. It just takes a lot of effort, and that's fine. I have a lot of time to sit there and play with my eye makeup. So I think though what's gonna happen is I'll probably just hit Pan in it, and then if I like expand the pan or anything like that, it's great, but I just want to hit Pan in it. I'll try to use it as like a lower lash line shade because it is just a brown. I feel like it would go well with a lot of eye looks, or I've even thought about trying to use it as my eyebrow like powder. So I don't know if I'll finish it off, but at least I'll hit Pan in it. That's my goal. And then these last two shades are from my Lorac Mega Pro 4. The brown one, Mocha, we already had Pan in, and I think I used it maybe twice this last month. Not enough to see like any changes, but Spice, I do have Pan in now. And so what I was doing was I would alternate between using Spice and All Star as my like outer V looks, and I really love it. I think it's super pretty. I can't wait for fall to really get here to where I could just load up on all of these fall like tones in my eye look at one time instead of using like one or two of them. And then with our matte cream shade from Tarte, I think you can tell the pan has expanded on it as well. It's getting really difficult to pick up product with my brush, so like an even amount. So I think what I'm going to do is repress that shade tonight. And then this last shade is also from my Lorac Mega Pro 4. It's just the shade Steel Wool. I haven't touched it yet. I really enjoyed that shade when I was panning the Pro 4, and so I'm kind of saving it because to me it gives me such like winter vibes. So yeah, that probably won't have any changes to it until then, but that is it. I think that's everything that I need to update you on for this palette. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you're having a good day or a good night or whatever, and I will just catch you in the next one. Bye.